Welcome to the GCN Tech Clinic, where we aim to answer your bike and tech-related questions. You can submit your questions down below using the hashtag AskGCNTech, and we'll do our best to answer as many of them as possible within the allotted time.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
You go first.
Curry Calcavist first. What is the main reason riding in winter is so slow? I seem to lose about 5 kilometres an average speed for the same power output on my regular commute as the temperature drops from nice summer, autumn temperatures to freezing winter. Is the bulkier clothes or do the tyres roll slower in the cold as well? Hit us.
Well, we've actually done videos on this, so we'll post a link to the videos below so you can check it out. But in the long and short of it, it isn't just one thing. There are lots of different factors. It's the factors you mentioned, but it's also often just the air density is less. The air density is higher, because it's colder. And that you're effectively traveling through a thicker medium. And so it takes more effort to push through that. And as a result, you're slower.
There's lots of different factors. I think you've already highlighted some of them to do with like bulkier clothing. Typically, people are maybe using winter tyres. Also, the biggest factor that I think to consider is just in winter, people sometimes aren't that bothered about trying to ride as fast.
Yeah, motivation is another thing. What I would say is that this is some of the best evidence that you can see for why all the little things that we constantly bang on about add up in terms of making cycling easier. Clothing is probably the biggest one. Next question is from Mike Wallace, 5937, who says, quick one, regarding cross-compatibility with Shimano components, do GRX brakes and shifters work with Tiagra derailleurs?
TIA.
This is Africa.
Is it?
No.
Oh.
Thanks in advance.
Sorry, I'm just useless at things like that. I believe they will work. I don't know that for a fact, but if you go onto the Shimano website, there's these really good cross-compatibility charts where you can put what components you use it, and then it's like a line graph, and it links up to all of the different components and models that are available. And that way, it's like really easy to go, okay, that thing works with that thing, or I've got this brake caliper, what are the levers that I can use? Makes life easy.
Yeah. Consult the chart.
Consult the chart. Smart little fishy next. So, I live where there is year-round sunny weather.
It's all right for some.
Hawaii. Yeah. Here's my question. On rides under 4 hours, I don't get a tan on my legs. I no longer even bother with sunscreen on my legs for shorter rides. Anything exposed above my waist would have been burnt right away without sunscreen. So why don't my legs tan? Do my legs not get enough sunlight? Are they spinning so fast the photons are unable to hit them? Or do I cast that much of a shadow over myself? Sure, this happens to other people. Side note, I'm a normal guy that doesn't shave my legs or anything else.
Several things to unpick here. Firstly, are your legs spinning faster than photons? Photons travel at 2.98 times 10 to the 8 meters per second squared. So
that's fast.
Yes, that's the speed of light. And so, no, your legs are not travelling at the speed of light or faster than the speed of light, as faster than the speed of light travel is impossible. Furthermore, with regards to tanning, I would suggest you watch our video that's sided with a consultant dermatologist and wear sunscreen.
That would actually answer all of your questions. Also, there's nothing wrong with not shaving your legs or any other bits, whatever you want to count as that. Next question, CLBS0303. What have we got?
Hi guys, this is a question for Manon.
Great. Manon, just have to do with us for now.
When I ride on the velodrome, my hands are really sore. So much I can only ride for 30 minutes at once. They're not numb, but my hand palm is red. I spoke with 3 different bike fitters, but unfortunately all say they don't know how to set the position on a track bike. What? On my road bike, my gravel bike is sitting perfect and I have no issues. Any tips for setting up the position? Who are these bike fitters that you're talking to? Because they sound like absolute idiots.
Oh, wow. What's going on?
Yeah.
I don't know a scientific answer for this, but what I'm going to say is I think on the velodrome, you're in a far more fixed position, and because you go around the bankings, especially at speed, it is putting greater pressure onto your hands. And I think it's more to do with the fact of that fixed position than having like that your bike position is wrong.
So there's a number of things you can do. Firstly, Right. The bike fitters might not be able to help you too much if you're just using a rental bike at the velodrome.
Good point.
And so maybe that's why they're saying to you they can't help you with your fit on that because it's a rental bike, and that makes total sense. If you have your own track bike, then yeah, they should be able to help you with that, and you should be able to adjust your fit. And the main thing to bear in mind is that you're going to be sitting in the drops. And track bikes are designed to be ridden in the drops. So you might want to actually have your drops higher than you would on your road bike because you're going to be, that's maybe a position where you'd spend 90% of your time, unlike the hoods, which is on your road bike. If your weight is too far forward and your front end is too low, then that's going to put more weight on your hands rather than the weight on your bum. And that's where you start to feel that pain in your palm because you've got more weight on that area. Trust me, I think I actually had permanent nerve damage from the Tour de Station.
Well, that's not actually a laughing matter, is it? So why laugh? Right, next question is from Adam-We2BD. They say, high-tech team, when riding wax chains in winter, how do you maintain it? Do you just, what should you do when you get home from wet rides? Wipe it off. What do you do when there's rust and salt on the roads? We've had a few different kinds of similar questions about this.
Fortunately, I've done a video on it.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, we've got a video coming. So make sure you subscribe to the tech channel, turn your notifications on so that you don't miss that. Because, yeah, we've had a lot of people asking this question. And so, yeah, I've answered it in a video.
This is a great clinic this week. We're like, yeah, we've got a video for that, watch it. Yeah, another question, watch another video.
The main thing is, I mean, I would say, just from a practicality standpoint, if you are riding in wet conditions constantly, if you have the time to sort of be topping up and wiping down a wax chain, well, wiping it down and topping it up after every ride, great, because it will still be the optimum thing for making your drivetrain last longer. That said, there's very little difference with a top end wet lube. So if you but it has to be, not all, a lot of wet lubes are rubbish and they cause really quick wear because dirt attracts them. But there are independent tests out there. They show there's kind of 2 or 3 wet lubes that you can buy that are the ones to get. If you do some searching on the internet, you'll find it. I don't want to say what they are because the information's out there, but I don't want it to be biased coming from us because it's out there.
Fair, all right.
Yeah. But yeah, I just use a wet lube if you're constantly riding in wet weather and you don't have the time to do the maintenance.
Simple. Right, on to our last question then this week, Ollie. It is from TimHans6681. They say, should you rotate your tyres? I'm assuming they mean front to back rather than spin them on the rims.
Yeah, so people ask this question, and it's a good question to ask because the rear tyre wears quicker than the front tyre in most instances, and that's because it's the same on a car. If you have a rear-wheel drive car, the rear tyres wear quicker. Typically
a little bit more weight on the back of the bike as well. In my experience from all the different years of riding, I haven't done this. I've left the tyres fitted onto my bike and just accepted that generally the rear one's going to wear out first. But what I have sometimes done is if the rear one gets to the point of needing replacing, I've sometimes taken the front one, put it onto the back and put the new tyre onto the front. Yeah, but then, rather than like rotating them round to try and keep the wear even. Yeah. That's what I've tended to do.
But then you end up just replacing the rear one sooner again.
Yeah, it kind of leaves you out of sync. I think the best solution really is just to leave your tyres fitted to the bike however they are and replace each tyre as and when it needs replacing rather than trying to replace them as a pair, basically.
I would, especially if it's tubeless. Because then it's all right faff.
You don't want to be swapping tubeless tyres out on a regular basis. That is going to not only use loads of sealant, but create tons of mess. Yeah.
Well, I hope you found this useful. That is all we've got time for this week. But, keep your questions coming down below using the hashtag AskGCNTech and be persistent and hopefully we'll get around to your question next time. Love you. Bye.
Bye.